bow. Hello. I don't know why I said it like that. Very odd. Right, so you join me mid-action. List. Right. Yeah, you join me mid-action on my... I'm doing a space shuttle. Right? That's what we're doing here today. We're doing a space shuttle. We're doing a space shuttle. I'm going to do the whole gantry, all that kind of shit. But the minute is I had made the critical mistake, the noob-esque mistake of setting my scene scope wrong. So I just fixed that. But in so doing, I've broken this material, which was, I think it's still currently broken. That's saved. Okay, so if we see this in its default state, we've got these like lines, I guess. So if you look at the reference, let's grab my reference over here. The shuttle has like wiggly boys, wiggly lines, right? This is like basically gets sprayed on, right? This is it's foam. It's foam attached to like a frame, right? So because of the quality or lack thereof, I keep doing that. Let's try and lock this. No, it doesn't do it. All right, well, forget that then. I can't lock that. I've never thought about that. Anyway, point is, yeah, like for reasons. Let's go to external tank. This is my shader, my material. I'll have to fix this now. That part of me is tempted to redo part of this in Octane. So, a stream that no one would have seen yesterday was I doing this in Redshift. I'm not super au fait with Redshift. I can kind of use it, basically, but slowly and lots of Googling, and I'm pretty rusty with 3D in general, to be honest. So everything's going slower and shittier than it should do. So we've got some problems with this material, and I haven't organised it very well. So I'm basically going to reconstruct it pretty much from scratch, and maybe organise it slightly better, because I don't really know what's going on in here. Sort of like just going at the speed of light. So we've got these things here. We've got these tiles, right? So we've got these two tile materials. There's one for the bottom, one for the top. And because of reasons, there we go. This tile will do this at the tip of this rocket. And our projection options for it are, again, it's part of it's because I don't fully get how projections work in Redshift. So I'm like, the hack I've got on it is I've sort of left it to do whatever. So if we do... Yeah, so I'm doing a UV projection into here, right? Let's take that off. And I'm trying to control its contribution, right? So let's just go... In fact, just quickly... Boop. And then we'll take the output. What are we doing here? Okay, so that's powering the bump. That's fine. So that means the ridge has got some depth. That's okay. Let's turn that bump off, and then that goes into that color mix, which I've called bottom, which isn't very useful. Base. That's my base color. Right, cool. Into a color mix. So I'm mixing this into my base color. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, yeah. So I'm mixing. So here's my base color. So my base color becomes. Is that it? There's my base. So I've got. Okay, right, so what I've got is I have a colour that for some reason I've piped into a colour correct instead of replacing, I don't know why, which is this orange. I'm putting it into a noise, I'm mixing it with this orange here, so let's move that like that. Okay. And what am I doing? In my bottom section, I've got this. Let's just... Okay, so that currently is not doing my job of mixing. Let's turn that off quickly. Okay, our colour mix is set to, let's see our mix amount. So yeah, if we do that, that's our mix between our base colour and this first tile. This tile is also powered by the same array of colours. I could probably just do all of this with colour corrects and one base colour, to be honest. They're all shades of orange, so I could probably fix that. But yeah, so as is the way of not really thinking about what you're doing as you're doing it. So this colour mix is set to 50%. Let's look at our UV projection. That's going to break it. Cool. So there we are. There's the issue. So the UV projection is set to planar world, and flipped it on half. So now it's like vertically projected. That's cool. And then the problem is inside this ramp then. So let's have a quick look. Let's eyeball it. That's weird. Alright, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to delete this ramp, delete this UV projection, create a new ramp. Create a new ramp. A new UV projection. Don't know what UV context projection does. Let's say I don't care to find out, but actually, oh dear. Let's just quick. Let's keep this side for now, and then we'll wham this in, and then we should get something. There we go. Lovely. Yeah. So this, I think, originally would have been, if memory serves, I was fading it out towards here. So let's just quickly flip this around. So that means black will be that side, right? So we've got to have. There we go. And then now that means that's. Oh, I keep doing this. That is now on the bottom. View. Whatever, it's fine. Right, so yeah, we'll just do that and bring this up, I guess. Oops. That will then... so what's going on with that then? Why is that... Why is that saying, like... Okay, so what will... Oh, dicks. What we'll do, we'll come in here, and then we will put another white this end. So yeah, we're currently powering the a little masky boy. So well, that seems to have not worked at all. So that sits there. So where does this go? Hang on, I'm going crazy. Yeah, because I don't want that side. But then why is that breaking halfway down? That's very... So if I flip this round, right? I set this in opposition to, let's say, 200, right? Oh, okay. So, okay. Alright, okay. So 140. That's bizarre, though. This mapping's gone weird. So when I've rescaled the scene, I've actually sort of fucked it, to be honest. So what we'll do, we'll bring this up till that. Oh, okay, that's not great. So, what the fuck has happened here? There's something going on now. I've changed my world scale. I've broken something. I see. Okay. That's definitely not the way it should be. But then... Because, yeah, even if I... Do you know what? I'm just going to think. This isn't too crazy to redo, to be honest. I am going to do something drastic. I'm just going to do this. Because it's just like noise, right? It's just various noise textures. So we'll go back to this. So let's get rid of displacement. We've just got some noise in the displacement channel, which is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to put our little lines back in here. So what we're going to do, and there might be a better way of doing this. Again, my knowledge of redshift is pretty limited. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for tiles, drag one of those out, and then we're going to quickly grab this over because we don't need this distance right now. Pump this straight into our colour. Oops, straight into colour. There we go. And then yeah, we'll see our default projection on this. It looks pretty bad. So, is there an orientation? Let's leave that in U for now. What is the equivalent of coordinate? Yeah, there's world. What's it called? What's it called in? Right. So UV projection for now. I need to probably Google this. It's not that professional to be like, let's Google how this thing works. Projection. Okay. Oh, okay. Ah, right. UV context projection. That might be the one. So, how do we use that? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, what we want is, how do we? Okay, we got to get our little Google on. Okay, so UV context projection redshift. How does that work? UV context projection. So we're just going to do one of these. The UV context projection is a powerful utility node that applies the same mapping across issue textures connected to a material. Most materials built using a set of textures only look good when they perfectly match up with each other. UV context projection node makes it easier to adjust all textures and keep them in sync. Alright, so what do we connect it to? Output, UV context projection. Alright, so it's just there, isn't it? Advanced UV context. Hang on. How it works, let's just zoom this in. These words are tiny. So UV context port, direct or downstream connections. Using a UV context projection node is as simple as connecting the out context to a node with a UV context port. Yeah. Direct UV connected directly to text UV context. So I can either do it in the output and it will apply to everything, or in a material and I can layer it later. Fine. So what we'll do, we'll drag this into our material. Drag it into our material. And I should, there we go, advanced UV context. Let's go with this material blender, I'm not using it. So let's just see what we've got inside our UV context to start with. So that already looks better. That's pretty cool. So we don't want triplanar, or do we? Actually, let's have a look. So I'll change some squares to lines. There we go, lovely. And then triplanar's going to box off the top. So if I change this angle from U to V, you know what? That's actually pretty good. Huh. Cool. Okay. So in Blender speak, for example, this is the equivalent of your sort of like UV coordinates node, I guess. Again, like I said, my knowledge I've used Redshift for literally one project, and I liked it. I had a really good time, to be honest. So that is pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I'm actually really pleased with that. Cool. So what we're going to do then? Let's now work a little bit on the look of these tiles, these thingies, these. Yeah. So, what's the right way? I guess, because this probably just needs a separate but similar. What's that doing? This one here probably needs a separate but similar thing, because we don't actually want these showing on here because they're not relevant. So we can either do that just via the simple way, so material selection, or we can do it with a ramp, I guess. Should we do it the clever way? It's better to learn something, I guess, right, than to just sort of like do a thing. So first things first, we've got these colours here. This is my, so we're just into tile colour 1, and this can go into tile colour 2, tile colour 3. Okay, cool. And my grout colour is okay, and let's do this as my flowers. This is my grout colour. So grout colour, there we go. Lovely. So we've got like this you know, wiggly boy effect. This wiggly boy effect. So okie dokie. So yeah, so now I've halved the number of nodes, because I had previously had like a bunch of these attached to each other. Let's get this up here. Can you do? Oops. How do you do elbow? Can you do elbow joints? Correct rerouter. Oh, there we go. You can connect rerouter. Oops, there. So then do that. Ooh, ooh. Huh. Very fun. Okay. Cool. Okay, so actually I can do this instead. I can go like that. Right, go around that. Boop. And then do one to there. Boop. And move that over to there. Look at that. Lovely. Okay, cool. Fun. So, get rid of this. No, don't need that. Boop. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Cool. Right, so we can just tie. Let's just make this all a little bit tighter, I guess. A little tighter together. Right, so we want to remove this section from here. At some point we might want to rotate the seam, but I don't think that actually matters, to be honest. So should probably put this in some more neutral lighting as well, so I can see it a bit better. But we can do that. That's tweaky time. That's not whatever. So what we're going to do first off, we're going to make some noise. So get some noise, because first thing, we don't want these uniform stripes. We want to have, like, you know, a bit of wiggle to it. So we will do a mix. There we go. Is it color mix or mix? I don't know. I think. Find out. Oh, it works with, I think it works with color or not. That's fine. Right. So we'll do round that into color, and we should see. There we go. We've got a little bit of a mix between the two. We'll solo that for a second. In fact, actually, we'll solo this noise for now. And what we'll do is we will. Ooh, that's the wrong sort of noise. Let's use a Maxon noise. Love Maxon noise. Noise. I use Maxon noise in Octane as well, because it's just so nice. Lovely. Right. So there's that. Right, and then what we're going to do is, from here, we are also going to grab another one of those. I'm going to put this into general color 1. There we go. Oh, actually, no. Do you know what we should do? We've got this color correct into a Maxon noise. What we're going to do is we're going to then pipe this base color back into here. Right, and then. Yeah, so that makes sense. So then what we'll do then is, yeah, we're piping that out into there, and then, so let's just quickly solo this. Cool, and then input, yeah, input. No, that's not right. Let's use color mix. Let's use color mix. It's probably simpler. Mix, color mix. There we go. And then we'll do input 1 is that. Input 2 is that. That goes into color. Excellent. Give that a little solo, and then what we'll do, mix amount, we'll then pipe some noise into here. So noise, Maxon noise, there we go, and then we'll just, boop. And then hopefully we should get oh, I'm not disrupting it that well, but what we'll do is we will, no, that's alright, so we will just change the scale of this. So output, no, overall scales, turn that down. It's not doing enough, I think. Okay. What's our base colour here? Let's look at this quickly. So we've got our that guy, right? Good. So that's tile colour 1. Our grout colour is the darker one. That's fine. So we'll do that, because that comes out. I don't like that though. You know. Let's just swap those around. Let's do that. And then do that instead. Okay. There we go. So we can see our noise contribution there now, but it's way too small. So what we'll do is we'll up our noise overall scale to 100. There we go. See, and we're starting to disrupt those lines a little bit now. We want probably more obvious. There we go. Yeah, a more disruptive noise. Let's just turn up the octaves on that to like 8, or down even actually, maybe. That's probably not bad actually, is it? So let's turn that off. Nice. So that's cool. That's cool. So what we're going to do is we've got our grout color is now black again. So we'll just pass that back into our grout color. That's two. Like what? How did I have this before? I had this doing something a bit different before, didn't I? Let's just do like grout color as a light one. There we go. Let's do that. And then our sort of like thick line. That's color 1. Let's change that color 1 to that. That's better. Tile color 3. Let's do that. That's better. That is better. So we'll just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, nice. Okay, so you know, we've got our sort of like our striping back. Pretty cool. So I'm wondering if there's a good way to sort of like wiggle. Let's just save incremental. So it's Command Alt S, I think. There we go. Yeah, good way to sort of wiggle the actual line. There's actually a setting in here called there's weave, which is not what we want. And then there's waves. It's auto to regular. That's the other thing about it, like, because we want. Oh, lovely. Okay, cool. That's exactly what we want. We want to randomize that color. So that's got a seed. Lovely jubbly. Cool. Right. So I think that's a pretty cool little procedural, actually. But what I think we want to do, what would be a better way to like sort of like programmatically disrupt the edges of this, you know? Because we don't want it to be so uniform. I mean, on my previous one, it didn't actually matter that much, but actually, let's be real. What we could just do, which might achieve the same effect, is just switch out one of these scales a little bit. No, that's not quite right. No, that's not going to work. We could rotate it by like 3 degrees. Oh no, that rotates. No. Can't believe this troplane just worked. Oh, that's not bad actually. Yeah, because we're going to actually sort of tone this down quite a lot, so we don't need this amount of. In fact, let's just quickly turn off. We've got a couple of like us playing, so we've got a couple of sort of like LUTs and shit. We just don't want that. Let's just do how it comes straight out of the camera, and we've got a less dramatic sky around here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, more like neutral looking, so we can get a better feel for how this actually looks. So that's. Yeah, first off, these need to be way smaller though, but that's fine. So we'll just do bevel width, global scale, 0.6. Lovely jubbly. So let's just make our noise a bit more noisy, to use a technical term. Actually, we'll just do the colour mix and we'll see. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll up our scale to 200, and we'll see if we can disrupt those edges a little bit more. Is hammer the right thing? Let's try that instead. That's not doing quite enough, I don't think. So we'll just quickly up this, we'll just do the scale back on 1 quickly, and then we'll just quickly look at this, and we'll see how much we can disrupt this. So there we go, there it is, we can see it vertically. So you want to do more actually, so let's just, wrong side, so there we go, white, pure white, and then this is going to be like a, there we go, mid-grey, and then I think scale do 100, no, let's make it like 300, let's make 300. I might want to make this even more okay, let's just look at that quickly. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that's looking a bit better. That is looking a little bit better. So, yeah, not quite as uniform, but I think by the time, because what scale we're going to see is in frame, probably like here, right? And we're not sort of like looking at this up close, we're just hinting at it. And we've got this displacement here. So what we're going to do quickly is we're going to add some more noise. It's going to up our displacement a little bit. So we'll just change our scale to 0.1. Let's see how that goes. We haven't got much geometry to work with here, so this should do quite a lot. Let's just do scale 1 for a second. Is there anything? Oh geez, let's just do like 10. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Alright. 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 Let's just see how far we can push this geometry. Not very, it turns out. Okay, yeah, because we've increased the size of the actual geometry, haven't we? So that's going to affect our displacement. So let's just put this back up. Let's put this on 2. Okay, so that I think is not going to work. We'll just make overall scale 100, and we'll see. I've not played with the new. That's better. The new. It's not bad at all, actually. The new noise, the new displacement inside Redshift / Cinema 4D. That's actually not too bad. So we need to get our reference channel under control because this is just crazy right now. So we will just grab ourselves some more noise. We'll go into here and we'll do noise. Max on noise. And then, yeah, we'll just get our roughness channel under control because right now it's way too CG. And what's the scale on this? Let's have a look. It is pretty big. So let's just get this down. Where are you? There we go. Scale. Let's make this 60. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to normalize these colors a little bit, just so it's actually pretty rough. So come back out to here. That's probably too rough, is it? Let's have a look at a reference. That's too shouty, but you can see it's actually pretty diffuse. So this is too deep right now. So what we're going to do is go into our displacement. I'm going to set our scale to 1, just to remove some of that. We don't want it to be as specular. That's getting closer to reality, I think. We can see from our sort of like desired distance. Can we see? So what else we want to do is we're going to pipe in the ridges also into that bump channel, right? So we've got the displacement going. We haven't got anything to bump right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a version of this. We go bump channel, bump, map, drag one of those out, right? Pipe this into the bump, and then it will be something from here. Let's grab these and move these over. That can stay with it. And then we'll grab some output. Let's give that a go to start with, and we'll see what this does. Not a lot. 10. Does that do anything? Let's have a look at our bump map. I see. So what we'll do, we'll grab the straight tile output and we'll just plonk that in. There we go. So, right, okay, we've got something now. So we can look at this, and then let's look at height scale, make that 1. Okay, make that 0.5. Okay, and then what we're going to do is probably... Actually, we probably just want to make that like a little bit more noticeable, because then we'll see how this goes at our desired scale. Because we're not going for perfection here. That's close enough, actually, I think, for now. Yeah, because we've got this sort of like sense of there being ribs here. We probably want a little less uniformity in the base colour, because we've got like a bit more mottling here. Can you see? This is in one of our little references. Let's look at another one. So we've got, yeah, so look at these. This right now, ours is actually quite subdued by comparison. This is the actual real, look how fucking big that is. This is the actual real guy. You can see how strong those ridges actually are. But I think the amount of work it's going to take to make them non-uniform for the amount of time you're going to see it and the distance is probably not worth the time invested. And it's also something we can look at doing later on. So that cap is orange, but that cap there is all silver and metal. We'll improve that. So yeah, what we'll do is, I think we will add a bit more randomness to that base color, because how much is that contributing? Let's just quickly see. Quite a lot, actually. Pretty good. Okay. That's mostly exposed in the stripes. So what color is actually contributing that part there? Okay, this one, color 2, is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So what we'll do is, that is already going into a noise. Let's just quickly check, see what our noise looks like. Okay. Doesn't look like much at the minute. It's quite, way too fine. That's basically Okay, let's just make overscale, make it 100. There we go. That's better. Actually, I can probably like 150, and then what we can do is we can add some more octaves to that, give it more dimensionality, and from noise we'll change that to like something like Ober. It's probably not the right. No, let's go with. Actually, I think regular noise probably is the one for this, and we'll see our end results. Bit better, actually, a bit better. So we probably want to add a bit more noise to this as well. And do we want some more variation? I think we probably do. So let's just do a color correct. Color correct. Color correct. And we'll get like a darker, smudgier, shittier brown, basically. A crappy brown. So we'll turn the gamma right down. Probably like, yeah, probably actually that, to be honest. And then we'll pipe both of these into another noise. So noise, max on noise. So much of 3D is just putting things in noise channels. Or like, oh Christ, yeah, putting things in noise channels. Oh, do a thing. Oh, add some noise to it. Right, let's do that. That's going to be color 1. This is going to be color 2. There we go. And then lovely. Look at that. And then we're going to change out this. Where is that going? That's going into grout color. Is it? That's pretty cool. And then I think maybe our base. Where's our base color again? Let's put that there. Our base color, which is still not that clean in here, is it? There's no graph. So our base color though is still this, right? So that goes into cut tile 3. Let's just do a check again. We'll see its contributions quite a lot. Okie dokie. So we'll also do the same here. Noise. Oh, wrong one. Max on noise. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just do that into color 1, and then this same one into. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. Into color 2. Lovely. And then we will replace. Hang on. Then that goes into. So what we're going to do that, and then this color here. Just get this over here. Get this over here. Oh, I don't like this node system. It's too messy. These default max on nodes. So what we'll do, we're going to grab that out color, grab that, pipe that to there. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's a little too much. So what I'm going to do is bring the scale down on that. That's a bit too heavy. So we'll turn that scale down to, let's say, like 50. So it's not so uniform. And I might want to pipe a little bit of that striping into the displacement. Let's just say that quickly. Into the displacement as well. In fact, this sort of feels still a little bit cartoonish, doesn't it? It's all right. Again, we're trying to be a bit pragmatic here, not sort of make perfect the enemy of good enough, right? So we'll just do. I think this probably. Let's just change to. Let's do something random. Let's do cells. Oh, actually, that's not bad. That'll do. Yeah, right, fine. And then I think maybe I'll just turn this down a little bit. Just turn it down a smidge, 0.4, let's say. 0.3 something. Okay, let's have a look. That ain't bad. Let's get rid of these clouds quickly. That ain't too bad. I think what I might just do, very last thing. Oh, actually, you know what? That looks pretty good. I was thinking it might disrupt the bigger pattern of the stripes a little bit, but I think for now, I think I'm going to call that good enough. I reckon. So, right, I think for now we can move on to doing a little bit of modelling. Let's just this with prettier light. Let's just swap these over with some more dramatic light. It's not like anything. This is me sort of like playing around, but we'll oh shit, we'll see. yeah, we'll see how this looks. So I think one thing I just want to change quickly while I'm here is, let's grab this, whoever you are, and you have this this crappy metal material. Let's just do this. What's this? Here, there we go. This has SRB nozzle, an external tank attached to it. So what object is this? I should probably fix this at some point, but I don't care to right now. Circular pattern. You can tell this is not my model. Right, so there's that Revolut 2. And what we're going to do is we will swap this out. We'll just use a bog standard metal material. We'll see what we've got. Okay. Oh, where is it? Where are they? Going crazy here. Material. There we go. Materials, and then we'll go to metal, and we'll do. What are these IRLs? This probably want pure F. What do we want this to be? So yeah, and some of these, it's actually quite shiny. So probably like a brushed steel or stainless steel, maybe. Steel. I'll go with that. Ba-ba. Oh, that's actually quite rough, isn't it? Okay. Well, let's just leave that for now. So this has got that instead. Where are you? Split one. Let's just put that same material on there. So we'll just do. Where is it? Tempered steel. We'll replace that with that as well. Stainless. Let's just do regular stainless steel. Actually, let's just do that instead. And then we'll do. That goes there. There we go. And then that also. That's Tropic, lovely. And then that one can also go on that Revolut thing as well. Good enough. Right, good enough. So, okay, we'll call that good for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the gantry a little, I think. I'm going to do that in Modo. So I've got the files around here somewhere. I've downloaded a gantry. Gantry, yep, FBX. Give that a second to open. Back into Modo, and we'll see how many times Modo wants to crash today. Actually, also what will save a lot of time is just, yeah, turn off that. Let's just close that for now. Let's just get rid of that. No, I don't want 17.1.1 because I do not want it. So gantry, I'm going to go out of this tab into here, drop our gantry in, there we go. Boop. There we are. Right, so yeah, actually maybe I should just lots of locators here, that's pretty annoying. So let's just quickly flatten this list, and then we will just do none and just do locators, and we'll get rid of all of those because we don't need any of these locators. This is the one problem of USD stuff, is it makes a lot of noise in the files. Let's get rid of all of them. See if it crashes. It's going to crash. Or move some crap around. We'll see. It's going to crash. Oh man. Oh, did it? No, it didn't. Hey. Oh no, it broke it though. So let's undo that. Oh man. Okay, right. What's the right way to click? Okay, so filter. We'll just do all, and we'll unflatten this. Let's have a look, see what we're dealing with here. Oh, you're annoying. Okay. what I'm going to do, just to keep sanity, I'm just going to merge all of these. It's a thing we can do. We've got the power. Give it a second to churn. There we go. Lovely. And then these, we can just hide. What's that doing? I don't know what it's doing. So we're going to hide all of these locators for now because we don't need to see them. So we're going to go filter and we'll turn off locators. And then, there we go. We can start looking at what we're doing with this gantry thing. Get rid of that. What is there? Wait, what is this? What is this? What is this? Get rid of that. Nice. So, what? Is this model just shit? It could just be shit. How long would it take me to redo this? Realistically, this is the main bit we'll be concerning ourselves with, right? Would be this. And you've got this gantry stuff, but we're not going to see this. So the idea of the end of this shot is right. If actually we can import, if we need this for shadow casting, we can just import this as is. That'd be fine. But we don't need to interact with it because. So basically, I was watching a stream the other day, and the guy in question was doing a very fun shot that I'm just going to replicate because it just looks fun. And it was basically this as like an elevator shaft. So you're sort of coming up like this, and you're seeing. In his case, it was what's it called? Can't remember the name of it. SLS, and in my case it is going to be the shuttle, just because the shuttle's prettier basically. It's just a nicer looking, more iconic I guess vehicle, though but less important I guess. But so because this is directly from NASA, but it's not great. Let's do a quick bit of mesh cleanup. Let's see this. This is one of the things I love in Modo. Mesh cleanup's very, very good in here. I was on stream once and someone went, why do you need to like run a mesh cleanup command? Surely it should be clean anyway. It's like, oh, my sweet summer child. You've not done much modelling. This is a lifesaver. So yeah, so the reason why I've gone to mode instead of Cinema 4D it's mostly because modelling in Cinema 4D is actually pretty awful. Although, if I were to do this sort of thing, right, so let's say like, to get this tower, it'd be a case of you'd have one instance of a floor, right, or a couple of instances of a floor, you'd then replicate them on top of each other, stack them up, right, and then you'd add some variation between those instances, right, so you'd either bake it down or like stage some stuff on top of it. So we could do that in C4D actually, because this sort of thing is pretty straightforward. So when you're doing real modelling, like changing actual geometry, that Modo kind of shines. But really, most of this would just be either prefabs or it would be a bunch of primitives, right? I guess I could always come back to Modo if I need to do anything more more intricate than that, I suppose. Huh. But there will be some modelling involved in that, is the problem. But then we could do. There's a lazy thing I like doing. No, that. So I quite like using the sort of like mesh builder, the sort of volume builder technique inside C4D. If it doesn't really need to be good, right, good geometry, then you can actually get away with quite a lot. That's basically like live booleans, but you basically return it into a real mesh at the end, right? But instead of like a pure, like hard boolean workflow, which is not great. Yeah, maybe C4D is a place to do this. Anyway, we'll just quickly see what the output of this mesh clamp is. There's going to be a lot. Where's my? I haven't got anything selected, so I can't see at the minute. But there'll be a lot of polygons in here. Most of them not necessary. This would be from some sort of old school CAD, I reckon. From the look of it, this looks very 2000s. Come on, you're nearly done. Through support. Whatever. So that's what. Let's just if we just select everything. So it's what control. Oh no, control shift. No. What if we select all again? Alt Shift A, there we go. Oh no, actually, not that many. Huh. It's just probably some very shit optimization going on. Okay, we're just going to do some local cleanups on some problematic areas. There'll be some disconnected stuff here. There we go. There we go. That many vertex values merged. So that's now cleaner. We'll do this, do this, do this. Yeah, this is awful. So we've got this thing, this guy here. Probably. Let's see what this looks like IRL. Right. Let's just get some reference. Let's have a look. If in doubt, always get reference. So, shuttle launchpad. If I can spell, which I can't. Images. Lovely. So yeah, because I know this pad's based on, so the rolly boy is not there. We've got this tower thing here, and then in the distance we want water. Some. Okay, all right. Yeah. So that's the thing. No, it is. So no, the wheelie guy. Is it the entire launch pad, or is it the wheelie guy then leaves afterwards? That's Artemis. That's the shuttle. So. Lucky person. This gives you an idea of the scale of it. That's. Oh, they reused that for Artemis. I didn't know that. Okay, so. Beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. What are those big feet things? Those big doodads. Right, so we're going to just grab a few of these into Pure F, because that's the thing to do. So what we'll do is copy image, go to Pure F. We're just going to go paste. There we go. I love Pure F, it's so good. Okay, and then we'll go like that. That's great. I love that. Back in Pure F, just paste that in. There we go. Yeah, because that's basically like you're effectively, I think you're seeing it from inside there, right? Is the idea. You're going up through an elevator shaft through there. Or yeah, so this is the guy. This is basically what we've already got. I guess I could probably just like. Let's bring the existing FBX into C4D quickly, and let's just do this in like a minimal way. Like I'm like a maximalist. I'm like, let's sweat those details. Let's get it real good. But now I'm like, see, there's that same tower. That's actually the guy, right? So, but we're not going to see it from outside here. So what we'll do quickly, we do potentially want to have some of these shadows cast from this, and I don't know what that's going to look yet. So what we'll do quickly, would we want to reconstruct this? I think if we can get away with it, we wouldn't bother. But let's just, yeah, let's take this into C4. Let's just save this. So we'll bring this whole thing into C4D quickly. So Cinema 4D, there we go. Yeah, and then we'll just, yeah, we'll bring it in. Let's do this. So Gauntry. That's how posh people say it, probably. I don't know. Right, so don't need a light. Don't need whatever this is. Are they attached to anything? Okay, so what all these can I get rid of? Let's get rid of these. No damage yet. Why'd that fuck up? The problem with Modo is it's great, but it's really buggy, and it's always been very buggy. So, I think I know. So the Maxon guys currently, so there's like a quite prominent Modo influence, not influence is probably the wrong word, but like a Modo guy called Greg, who's runs a YouTube channel called Pixel Fondue. He's like I guess a buddy, I guess he's a friend, and yeah, he's in chats with sort of the product management team at Maxon at the minute. Well, not in talks, but we've got the line of communication open, and they're taking feedback from Modo, because I think the problem with C4D is it's overall fantastic. It's so very, very good. It's very strong. It's one of those bits of software where like nothing's bad. Well, most things aren't bad, right? Like it's mostly a case of let's get rid of all this. Get rid of all this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Right, yeah. A lot of stuff isn't actually bad. A lot of stuff's actually really good, but some things aren't great, and it's like the overall standard's very, very high. If that makes sense. But I mean, look at this. This model's awful. Yeah, the overall standard's very high. Like like viewport performance is good. The modeling tools themselves are really good, but the workflow's crap. There's very few complaints. Like the render view is very good, animation's very good, rigging's very good. Very few things outside of its real strengths, like the motion graphics stuff, are kind of like best in class. And the weird thing is so much of it, where everything else is pretty rock solid most of the time. They just could be, but they're just not, for like reasons I can't get my head around. So like currently they're in chats to basically say like, let's just see how much of the influence of the Modo stuff you can get in, because the thing with Modo is, and Modo users is, as it might be a little truism, but generally the best modelers would have been Modo modelers, right? To say Modo's better than the others is obviously a truism, but Modo's so much fundamentally better a modeler than anything else out there. It's not even close. Nothing's even really comparable. It's so much in a different sort of league, I guess. So is that UL? Can't remember the shortcuts. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Even selections in C4D are crap. So Modo selection tools are amazing. They're extremely fast to work with. Why am I doing this in C4D again? I can't remember why I said I was doing this. Anyway. Is that not? There we go. That'll work. That won't work. That won't work. That won't work because these are non-contiguous. Fine. But actually, do we just want to reconstruct this? Maybe we just want to delete everything apart from this half and then just redo this one. Is that probably the right way to go by doing this? Or do I want to do that in... So because I was thinking like if I'm going to duplicate, so the things that make C4D really strong are are really strong. It's things like the I haven't made this this launchpad. I'm going to remake part of it. But yeah, the things where C4D is really very strong. Yeah, it wouldn't take me long to redo this, would it? I probably could do this actually in Modo. Or I could do the modelling in Modo and then bring in and replicate. Yeah. So yeah, C4D is really strong when it comes to replicating geometry. So the sort of like MoGraph based workflow stuff is extraordinarily strong. So yeah, if I were to rebuild a floor of this, right, how long would that take me? I don't think it took me very long. So we've got basically a handrail, right? And then we've got some of these crossing over tubey boys. If actually just repairing one of these, how long will that take me? Probably not very long, because this is really quite janky. Okay, let's see how quickly we can do this. I think probably pretty quick. Okay, alright. So we'll just quickly do a... let's just come out of C4D quick. Let's close that down again. Boop. Okay. Why are you running like crap, Modo? We've not even started doing any work yet, guy. Okay. I want to make my floor a little bit thinner, like that. There we go. And then what we're going to do is it's selected on all axes. There we go. So let's quickly. I'm going to grab actually a screenshot of this, and then wham it in PureRef. How do you do this? Control that. I don't know. S. There we go. Always forget how to do this in Windows. Right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste this into PureRef. And this is going to be on the other screen. So I'll be referring back to this. Do I have Discord? I don't have a Discord. But if you want to get into a really nice 3D Discord, Google Pixel Fondue, as in like the food, the cheese dip. It's also a YouTube channel. I hang out there. A load of other really good 3D people hang out there. It's good. Right, so we've got these sort of V-shaped things here. So we've got those V-shaped support things, and then we can do these embellishments afterwards. So hammer. Okay, right, cool. We've got everything we need. So is this square? What is this in real life? What is this on the actual shuttle gantry thingy? Can we see? I suppose I'll just open up I'll show you what I'm looking at. We don't need a duplicate of that, we'll get rid of that. Oh. Well, never mind then, apparently you can't delete stuff out of there. Right, so this is IRL. It's probably the best view you've got. It is square. It is square. Okay, so. Okay. We'll do Action Center Origin, and we'll just do this quickly. There we go. And we'll just base it on a meter for now. Yeah, I would recommend, if you're a beginner, I would recommend checking out Pixel Fondue. It's pretty good. What tool are you using? Blender or something, or? Okay, so there's our floor, and let's look back to our reference, and we'll see. Have I got anything good here? That's the best we've got. I'm sure I put some more in here a minute ago. Did I? Didn't I? Not of the actual gantry. Okay, well we'll just... So that... Okay. So this thing actually is boxed off in the centre, and those are like that. Okay, cool. So we'll do the handrails, and then that'll be maybe I can download this piece. Blender, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to learn Blender, there's lots and lots of resources for Blender, to be honest, out there. So I wouldn't worry too much. So what we're going to do, turn on snapping quickly. I'm a bit rusty as well at the minute. I've not done any 3D stuff in a while. What's that? 56. So let's make that 60. Oops. 60 millimeters. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty. I don't do videos related to Blender generally because I don't use it very often because I'm not the biggest fan of Blender. I think it's okay. I think these probably. What are these beans made out of? Let's just try and get some more reference on this because we're sort of done with the shuttle for now. So we want to get some good reference of the actual like gantry tower. So let's just do shuttle launch pad, launch tower, and so we get some up close pictures of what these things look like because we're going to be looking more at this. This is our foreground, right? So if our shot, let's go back to this one quickly. If our shot is we are in an elevator traveling up here, right? This is, get rid of this box. Yeah. Right, yeah. So our shot is ultimately whatever. We're coming up through here like this. That's on this side, right? With our shuttle here, right? So actually, we're seeing a lot more of the interior of this up close. So we will get a better outcome if we spend more time on that, ultimately. So so we'll see if we can get some. Am I an engineer? What kind of engineer? I have been known to write software, I guess. Ooh, Turbo Squid. That's a good point. They have. Let's go to this page. Let's have a look. If you can cut a corner, always cut a corner. Oh. Okay. Industrial launch tower platform. That's not the right one. Let's see if we can get something for free. So if we can not bother with modelling the interior of that, or steal enough stuff to kit bash something together, that'd be good. Because we don't have to go for accuracy. It's in French. Shuttle. Yeah, we're not going for accuracy. We're going for like interesting. So I don't know why it says Turbo Squid in German. It's fine. We can make do with German Turbo Squid. Let's just do shuttle tower, I guess. Tower. That's not it. What was the thing in the picture? I want the thing in the picture. So that's a low poly guy. There's some SRBs. We've already got that. It's good. England. I'm from England. You not tell by my accent. So. Right. Shuttle. Right. Oh dear. Excuse me. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Okay, so wonderful. That's a great image. Let's just grab that and wham that into our reference. So yeah, look at that. Wonderful. Wonderfully detailed. Right, okay, so we're getting... Those are I-beams, I think. I think they're I-beams. Let's do inside shuttle tower. I want that close-up view of what we're looking at here. That's a little miniature. That's pretty cool, though. I'd love to go see the space shuttle, man. It is very cool. It's like the worst launch vehicle ever, but it's cool. It is very cool. Right. Yeah, because we kind of want that view from... That's the sort of... Yeah, that's the... no, that's not it. What is that? It's weird. Yeah, because also, where the shuttle ran for quite a long time, that's a good close-up look at that stuff there. Copy that. These are the details that will sell it, right? So I think that's a good tip is, which everyone doesn't listen to themselves enough with this, but it's like the thing of understanding in 3D where to put the energy is pretty important. So if something's not going to be on screen or it's going to be very small, don't bother putting time into it effectively. But it's the overall... Like, you see a lot of things where people miss certain small details. They're actually quite low effort that make a massive difference to the quality of their end result, which they kind of skip. And it's just making sure you're getting that balance just right. So, entering shuttle. Space. There's got to be like... right? There must be like some photo or something of someone going in. We want to get that view close up to see what those parts look like, because again, it's one of those things where it matters more, because our shot in question, you see a lot more of that gantry thing up close, right? Although your focal point is going to be the shuttle, which looks good enough at the distance we've got it, right? Your actual thing that actually passes through the view, which is your peripheral stuff, which is all this gantry part, right? So getting that to be moderately good is actually quite important. But I think yeah. So we've got that. I just want to see if there's like any. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there are I-beams anyway, so we can probably like. Yeah, so let's just do shuttle launch tower. Okay, doing with Artemis is probably good enough. Turn off that audio. Let's have a look at this. So we've got this guy. Don't care what you're saying. Doesn't matter. Let's go here. Here we go. Hey, this is what we're after. Because some of this is definitely repurposed from thingy. From thingy. From the... Damn it. It's not a bad view. So let's just do Space Shuttle Tower. And we just want to get a couple of like little close-ish up shots of this. Here we go. Look at that early 80s view of stuff. So here we go. Guy on the ground. Is there someone in the tower? I love it. So yeah, that's what I've just watched. Okay, right. I think we've got enough to go on here for now. Yeah, I think we've got enough to go on for now. So these are going to be I-beams, right? So what we'll do, I'm so rusty. So we'll go into here. Just do that quickly. We'll get rid of this. Don't need this. So what we'll do is, if memory serves, is this going to be faster in C4D? I honestly think I might just have to bite the bullet and just not do this in Modo and just take the pain of doing it in C4D and be a little bit slower, because I'm not, at the minute, I'm not fast anyway. I've not done anything in ages, so I'm going to be slow no matter what. Right, let's just do it like, we're going to just do a new file. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create a cube, and it's going to be a meter by, no, 200, so let's make this 1 meter, 1 meter, oh. 1M, 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 cool, and then we'll just bring that down to there. Okay, and then I reckon we can do, if I come into, profile, I show a bunch of profiles, I think, presets, templates, tools and helpers. Just do profile. There we go. Node operator profile. So I've got an I-beam. Ah, okay. What's this? Ah, wonderful. Look at that. Great. So, height is going to be that. I'm just going to eyeball this, to be honest. So it looks good. Okay, make that 1. Okay, that's going to be about right, I reckon. So, look at this. Look at all this. Excellent. Excellent. Profiles. Cool. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go into, where is it? Just see, extrude, is it? Extrude, thank you. Profile, extrude. There we go. Look at that. Lovely. So, we're going to just quickly grab this and give it a little rotate. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're going to be, let's go back to our reference quickly. I'm pretty sure they're I-beams, or H-beams. Where was it? Where did I just put it? Did I not copy it in? Or was it just this? Yeah, they look like H-beams to me, right? Or variety. That's cool though. So, that's very cool. See, these are still way too big, so let's just go into here and just make this just smaller. Just all around smaller. There we go. Okay, so that is going to sit on the outside of here. So we go like this, go into the top view. Where is it? Top. There we go. And all round one there. Which way do they face? Let's just do. Oh. 90 degrees. Oh, no. 90 degrees. And then run that there. Like that. Was it like. Yeah, so you have some sort of attachment point there, right? So that'd be like that. And you have some sort of like, yeah, attach going on. So then, okay, we'll leave one there for now, right? And then we'll just, I've got my drop to 4 thing. Whatever. We'll reinstall that later. So we'll do that there, like that. Cool. Okay, good enough for now. Right, and then, so 1, and then the floor's probably thicker than that, I reckon. So this is square, isn't it? Yeah, so actually I think this needs to be a little bit beefier, I think. So let's just go with... Undo that. That's the thing that's kind of weird about that is... Okay, yeah, let's go with... So that's just going to be Alt. There we go, Alt. And then we'll just make that a little bit thicker. That's about right. H! So yeah, we'll have there'll be some sort of attachment here, right? So what we'll do is if we... What's our height between each floor? That is about that, isn't it? Maybe a little bit less than that. So we'll leave it like that for now, because we'll make this as like a little like rig, and we'll stack them on top of each other, right? And then we'll embellish them individually. So we will do. Go to here, coordinates, and we'll just say it's y20, right? And then we can tell it's not doing this proper rig. So we'll just do what's the height of it? Extrude is y. Let's make that one 8 centimeters. Okay, let's make that just a good 9. Let's make it, yeah, let's make it 12, right? And then the height of this is, transform is 0, 0, there we go. And then this extrude is going to be what is it, 100, so make it 25. 25. No, what? I can't type. 25. No, 50. 50. Good enough. And then y 0. Excellent. So now what's our extrude height? Our extrude height is object extrude height is offset is 100. So then we're going to do. We could do this with Espresso. Actually, no, let's not do that. That's overcomplicating things. Yeah, because you could rig it up so like its y will always be proportionate to the height. You know, so it always centers itself. But let's not do that. So direction. Custom. Okay, I think we could probably do that. Anyway, let's not complicate things for now. So we'll just do this manually. So we just set the y of this to minus whatever. So we'll go to coordinates and minus 50, right? So if that's, you see what I'm saying? So then each time you do this, it'll be whatever. So right, what we're going to do is bring this forward by 50. Let's keep these numbers nice and simple for now, because simple numbers are good numbers. There we go, and then that's how it's going to be. Right. So then when we come to mirror this, which we will just do now quickly. Let's just do. How do you do this? Let's try and remember. So we'll go to. I'm so bad. Symmetry. There we go. Oop. There we go. And then object and Z. There we go. So we've got our now symmetrical I-beams, and then we'll do the same thing again. Let's just turn. We don't need to see. We don't need to see the symmetry plane, guys. Turn the planes off for now. Cool. So there we go. There's that. And yeah, our floor. Probably what we want to do is on our actual cube, we're gonna make this. Should we make this editable? Is there a profile that's a box section? Profile. Huh. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because if we have box section, we could flip it on its back. Actually, yeah, I could do something like that. So I can do like that, and I can make this one width 1m, 1m, right, like that. And then we'll just change its orientation to that. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of rectangle, a little bit of cube, right? And then what we'll do is we will sweep that along. So we'll just do, no, we don't even need to do that. We can do rectangle and then a second rectangle, right? Make this one smaller. So make this one like 10, right, by 10. And then I think we can sweep this across. I'm embarrassing myself today. Sweep. And then, I can't remember which one's which round. I think it's that way around. It's the other way around. There we go. Lovely. So, then we grab this sweep and then we can go like that. Yeah, and then our outer, so let's just name these correctly. So, that's 100 by 100. That's yeah, 100 by 100, and then so let's just do our let's just call this outer profile, right? Okay, cool. So now get our profile. I'm gonna make this one like 2 by 2 or something. I don't know. Whatever we want to do. And then our outer, we'll make this like 98 by 98. Oh, 98. Okie dokie. And then coordinates, we'll just set this all to 0. Okay, and then our profile will be, object will be, height will be 10. So that's going to give, yeah, exactly to be vertical there. So, and then our offset, can we just do that quickly? Is that a quick way of doing it? Or do just not mess about and just do coordinates profile, just do that. No, that's not going to work, is it? We'll just get our entire sweep. What height is this profile? This height of 10 sweep. We're going to just do coordinates y 10, sorry, minus 10, so minus 10. This is the right, oh, minus 10. This is the right decision, I think, because the thing with C4D, which is actually really very cool, is if you're doing this sort of like procedural type stuff, what's this X? There should be no transform on X at all. What are you doing? X. Alright, there we go. Yeah, if you're doing sort of like procedural style stuff, object, make this up, what is it? Outer will be, let's make this 90, 95, 95. Yeah, if you're doing sort of like procedure driven stuff, it's actually really good. That's not too, let's do like 96, 90, no, 90, 98 was probably alright. 98 alright? 97? 96. 96. Let's stick at 96. Yeah, if you're doing sort of like procedural based stuff or parametric stuff, it is still very good. 96. Because I've not got any editable geometry here yet. And this is the thing I keep forgetting, is like actual proper modelling in C4D is crap. But if you're doing stuff that you can negate that, it all feels like I'm half relearning C4D, which is very upsetting. But yeah, if you can do that, and then if you can negate part of that that relearn, or not relearn, like the, let's do this actually, profile, turn that off, and then we'll just do this with an I-beam. No, all right, forget that then. Right, yeah. So yeah, the thing, yeah. So if you can negate the need to do like traditional poly modeling, then it's kind of good. Desktop. Launchpad. Let's do gantry. Gantry 1. Right. Yeah, so if you can negate having to do that and just keep it all parametric, we've got a lot of editability here. So like C4D, you can think of as almost like lightweight in a lot of ways. It's a bit like, yeah, lightweight Houdini. They've got a lot in common. You can do a lot with nodes in C4D. You can do quite a lot with nodes in C4D. In fact, actually, I just pipe. I think the box, I think it's like 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Pipe that into my symmetry. That should also get symmetrized. It will. Okay, cool. So I need to have one symmetry for all of it. Cool, that's fine. So yeah. But I'm feeling quite embarrassed because it's been a few months and my mind's not been at all in 3D for months now. A lot of months. So I'm like going pretty slow. It's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty cringe. Right, so that floor's probably a bit too thick, to be honest. Let's do the profile and we'll set the height to like 8, I think, and then we'll just go back out and we'll bring this up manually because that doesn't matter much. So yeah, you can do. It's all flooding back to me now. Getting in that right that C4D mindset, where yeah, so like situations like this, there's a load of different ways you can do it. So I can make this very, very, very parametric, extremely parametric, and compared to something like Houdini, there's obviously limitations, right? To doing it this way, and it's a lot more sort of like hacky, but there's this push and pull with all software and all tools. Is you've got very specific, right? Which has more what we call in software development world ceremony, right? You've got all this stuff to do to set up to do the thing you're about to do. It's steps, and that means prior planning versus exploration, right? When it comes to creative tools, when you're sort of like a lot of it is visual, right? So it's making it up as you go along until it feels right. Unlike functional things that have to work, this is like there's a spectrum, right, of like engineering to art. Art is just you can paint, you can lob some paint from a grenade onto a thing, and that's still art, right? Versus engineering, the other side of the spectrum, which is like it has to work. It's a functional thing that has to work, right? And everything in those sort of endeavours, from physical engineering to art, sort of sit on that spectrum. Is a way of you can look at it. And 3D's on the further right end of that spectrum towards the engineering thing, where it's functional and a lot of technical aspects to it, but it's still ultimately an artistically driven affair. So when you remove some of that that ability to that mobility, right? C4D is great for just lob some stuff together and make it work, you know, and you can bodge things. It's like, oh, let's try a bit of this, bit of this, bit of this, bit of this, and all the tools are kind of quite intuitive and make sense and whatever, and you can sort of work your way towards things. But obviously that's weaker than compared to something like Houdini, where if I open up Houdini now, even when I was doing a lot more 3D, to go into Houdini and say, let's just make this, would take me Googling and, you know, whatever. It's many more steps. It is more powerful, it is more flexible, but you've got to actually ask yourself which is more powerful, which is more flexible, but also remembering that in all cases, and this is true of all software, they are just tools. They are just tools. And you can just pick... That's a weird thing. You can just use more than one, right? You see me use 2 bits of 3D software today. I may even use a third later. And that's the thing you've got to embrace as well. Like, especially if you're coming from something like Blender, where you're like, oh, Blender does everything. It does, but, you know, strengths and weaknesses. Or when someone says to you, you can do this with geometry nodes. It's a cool system. It's not very well designed. So functionally, you can achieve some very cool stuff with it. It's not the best designed, and it's a little bit all or nothing geometry nodes. Where in the case of C4D, they have their own what they call what's the name of it again? Scene nodes system, which is similar. It's more like a TD tool. It's more for scene layout. Scene layout tools in C4D are actually pretty spectacular. That's also something that's particularly bad in Blender. Is scene management. You can't even move things around in the outliner, which pisses a lot of people off and is completely unnecessary. But actually, I saw Pablo, the guy who does a lot of the sort of marketing comms for the Blender Foundation, address it once in a live stream, and the reason for it is ridiculous. It was, if you have a bone system, it was to prevent you pulling the bones out in the wrong order. And it's like, my brother, this is 3D software. Like, if they know how to rig something, you can trust them to unbreak a bone system. That's like saying, yeah, you know what, like, I know these are all construction workers, and but when it came to the hammers, we just thought we took the heads off all of them, just in case they just hit each other with them instead of the nails. It's like, well, that's one of the occupational hazards of using hammers, right? If you're a qualified hammer operator, you're going to use the odd hammer. Let people just... It's a really silly concession. But yeah, like, so for scene management stuff is really good. But, you know, constructing stuff in the same way you would in scene nodes, but in Cinema 4D is not probably not as powerful from a node perspective, because the scene nodes thing is not really a complete system yet. It's kind of getting there. But between some of the other tools and the discoverability and the iteration speed, it gets trumped very handily by C4D, and the ways in which C4D are better are actually more useful for most people. Beyond the thing of saying, you know, obviously you can say I've done this in scene node in geometry nodes for fun, and it's really editable. Actually, how editable does it need to be, and also the scales of productions and stuff that require it, most of them aren't used in Blender. So anyway, that's all by the by. The point is, discoverability is useful, and sort of real-time flexibility, like me doing stuff like this. There's other systems at play. There's the scene node system. There's the fact that scene nodes can live inside here, so their objectives or their objects and their little like modifiers and stuff can just live inside the layer stack. Or I can construct new modifiers and then bring them in here. So I can have this sort of interactive parametric workflow without any having to touch on that complexity, and get probably 80% of the complexity down. But actually, let me just... I'm going to show you something. This is not even crazy complex, really. It's just a thing. Where is it? Is it in... Give me about a moment. Or no viewers. This one I'm going to keep up probably for posterity though, so that's fine. Is this, I don't know how far along this is. But, anyway, we'll see if this is far enough along. It should be. Hopefully. Oh, this is old. This is old? How old is this? Hey, this is a real client project, and their asset is this popsicle ice lolly, and this is how they look. This is based on a real product, right? And we see we've got, you know, an ice lolly, but it's parametric. So if we go into our popsicle controls, it should be here. I don't know. This might be old actually. Let's see if we've got. Oh, clearly controls. There we go. So this is a fully parametric object, right? Constructed with a couple of systems inside Cinema 4D. So between the variations of this, I can do things like I can change the depth of the flute distance. Let's make that like 2, whatever. We'll change the depth of those. That's the Y of the flutes. Don't know what that is. Pipe news in the wild, but there we go. And that's how deep they go. So you can vary this. You can also vary this with randomization. Let's undo that. So we can make that one like 1 centimeter, which will then push them in deeper. You know, so you can vary this. There's also this bulge at the bottom, which I can then say, yeah, I can change the depth of it, make it 1 centimeter, or I can make the width like 3 centimeters, whatever. You know, and this isn't actually that impressive a rig. This is like quite a basic little rig. But to do something like this is not complex. It's actually really very interactive. Because there's a system which doesn't get much love anymore, called Espresso in C4D. It's fantastic. It's just been around for forever. So you've got all these controls. You say, I've got a bunch of custom controls. And I can say, well, this is what I'm calling this. And I'm taking my flute Y on the attached object. I'm taking its global position Y. I can pipe in these values and pipe out these values into some maths. And they can power other values. So it's very scene nodey, but C4D spreads us across a bunch, and this is actually, it might look, if you've not done any node stuff before, this might look intimidating. It's really not. It's just expose a name of a control, we pull in a property from an object, and then we just attach things together, and you've got things like normalizations, but let's double click this. Boop. Next manager. Where is it? Oh, I'm so out of practice. There you go. Math, divide. Yeah. So we've got like these little operations we put in between. And Espresso is pretty easy. It's pretty easy. And you can build little rigs like this very quickly. So this is a fun one to work on. The actual rendered asset looks really nice as well. This is an old version. I can't remember which is the most recent version of the file. This is from last year. But anyway, so we could do all that here if we want to, but we shouldn't. Because it's a waste of time. So speaking of wasting time, we're currently wasting lots of time we could spend actually doing this. So, right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put a hole through the center of this guy here. So we'll call this one floor. Yep, and then what we're going to do, we're going to just duplicate this. So we'll just do that. And then this floor, I'm going to make it, we're just going to eyeball this one actually, to be honest, and we'll just do that. There we go. And then we're going to do cutouts, cutouts, and then we'll do a I can't remember how to do this. Boolean. Let me go. Thank you. How do you do this again? I should remember how to do this. Hang on. Let's move that tag to there, and then we'll do a. Oh. Why is my mind not working? Boolean, there we go, thank you. There we go. So that's going to be subtract. Wrong way round. There we go. Then that is going to be a subtract. There we are. Look at that, wonderful. This is me. Not remembering anything because my mind's mush. So I've gone and like, oh, you can build these procedural things, and I'm like, well, how do I do a boolean? Welcome to the inside of my mind. Comes from iBeam. Oh no, actually we'll just do this. I'm also on like hbeam beam. Yeah, this is what being me is like, because I do a bunch of different stuff, and then if I don't do anyone for a while, in this case months, I forget half of it because that's how I is. So right, we've got that. So yeah, our camera is like going through this hole. So probably this should not be as simple as this. We'll make this into another profile. So we'll grab this out, we'll put that inside our sweep, and what we'll do, we'll get rid of that profile and we'll replace it with this profile here. And then what we'll do is we'll just flip that on its side, 90. Actually, we'll just create a new one. We'll create a new profile. So we'll go into here, and we'll just do a new profile. We'll ram that into here, into our sweep. That's not working. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just delete that profile for now. There we go. And because our profile is way too big, we'll just do okay, so just make it 10, 10, 10, whatever, 1, 1, 1, 1. Just so we can see something happen. There we go. Right, so, and then our height is going to go up. We'll change its orientation to one that makes sense. Okay, and then what's that going to do? There we go, that's better. 4, 4. Problem with this is, let's go look at our actual, where is he? Where's our actual profile at? There we go, nearly there. So, what have we got our sweep set to? Object. Okay, that's what we've got right now. Fine. So, go back into our profile. We'll change this to back to an H. Just figure out the orientation that makes the most sense. There's that. There's that. There we go. There's that. There we go. Okay, getting somewhere now. Right. So there's that, and then our T is that's our. So just grab that like that. Go like that. Okay, and then our outer is like that. Okay. Got it. Got it. Should have probably made this first, but I haven't done this in a little while, so I'm just being dumb. Okay, there we go. There's that, and then we'll just go and we'll just eyeball this. Boop. Lovely jubbly. I think probably what we want to do is this is the interior. No, so we want to grab this. There we go. That needs to come in, and then means our width on this needs to be smaller. So that's our base, and then that one. Okay, and then what's this? Side, top. Excellent. Grab our whole sweep, and then we'll just do one of these. Whoop. And then, because of what we've done previously, our outer now needs to be smaller. So where is it? Where's our outer? There we go. Object, and then we'll just bring this down to 95, no, 92, and 92. There we go. So this is like a, is visual interest the right way of putting it? I guess it's a visual interest thing, I suppose. Okay, so there is our floor, and then what we're probably going to do, I think the best thing to do for a handrail is to just actually no, let's do the because yeah, let's look at this quickly. Let's just do this. So what we can do is we can go into replicator. No, that's a subdiv. That's a wrong button. There's a cloner. I keep saying replicator, so cloner, right? Cloner. Okay, so. No, go with that. So what we're going to do is quickly, we're going to just do, so Alt G, there we go. Yeah, and then we're going to do that. Cool. Cloner, we're going to change this to linear. There we go. Cool. So this is our basic, yeah, so we can adjust all of this, right? And again, we can power all of this by using Espresso or using scene nodes. But yeah, let's just do this for now. Let's just like by 50, and then later I'll fix the incongruity of this. But for now, we just want to sort of eyeball it, right? So we've got this. Cool, lovely. So if we look at what our little camera is going to be, it's going to be something like right. So we've got our handrails, and then we're going to quickly put in underneath here. We're going to do our horizontal beams, and these are the ones that they have in the reference from the model from NASA, which is probably just like a toy reference, a toy render, versus this. These are much thinner, and we'll have to do all these little terminals, you know. And then we'll have some other variety. I'll have to run in a second. So yeah, so we've got these here, and we'll have to get. We haven't got much visual. I like the fact this is red. I don't know when this stopped being red, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I think we will. We'll do some stuff. We'll do some stuff like, because yeah, this IRL, this elevate shaft is sealed, which is cool, but we don't want ours to be sealed. We want ours to be more visually interesting than that. So also we have to figure out how to do some of this latticing, because we don't want to do this manually, because that's just a waste of time. So relative to this, how big are these rails actually? They're pretty. So let's just do this rail. Let's hit up our old buddy the internet, and we'll just try and get a handrail 3D model. In fact, I've got some of these lying around, but we'll just Sketchfab. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Do CG Trader? Fine. I'm not paying money. We're just going to do Sketchfab. Okay, and then we're going to do handrail. We could model one. Can I be bothered? Can I be bothered? Or what I could do is open up Eagle and see what we've got. Okay, so we're going to go under models. I've got such a mixed number of models here. Right, so models. This is an incomplete. I should probably capture all the rest of my 3D models and shit. There we go, street side. Okay, there we go. So we've got some of this. So we've got that. Is not quite what we want. Okay. Oh, there's a crane though. That's cool. So we've got some of this stuff. Some of this might be useful, actually. Bins. These are, it's like a paid pack from years ago. Really cool, actually, just for like street detritus and all that sort of thing. Useful. Okay, very useful. What we're going to do is, I'm going to come back to that for sure. But we'll see quickly if we've got any. Actually, let's just do filter. Filter is going to be type. Type is going to be FBX. Max files, fine. OBJ. Yeah, USD. Blender file. Why not? Okay, so probably fast, and we can weed out all of the bits we don't need. Oh, these are all max files. Lame. Okay. Shows how long I've had them for, right? Also, who uses Max? So there's nothing in there. So what we're going to try and do is let's just do railing. I have to build one. I don't want to build one. Oh, ladder, railing. Okay, let's look at this. Boop. Okay, and look at this. That's paid, I think, but whatever. Look at that and look at that. There's some inside the Modo shit, I think. Ah, this. Okay, this bit here. This ladder might be useful, actually. That's not. Let's just download that. Oh. Okay. Well, we're not gonna download it yet. We'll do. Let's go to Blender Market. What does it say? Yeah, it's called Superhive now because they wanted more money. Railing. Not a rain generator. Let's just do Blender Kit as well. Blender Kit. And we'll see. Because yeah, if we don't have to model it, we won't. Railing. These are like decorative railings. We want like industrial railings. That's not it. We could just model it. You could just model it. Yeah, some of this is really useful. Okay, so I'm confused. There's not that much in here. So guard, yeah. So let's just. Do. Is there a load in? Where is it? View. Ugh. Don't show unavailable. Hand. Okay, let's actually go into Modo quickly. Because there used to be some really good stuff in the Modo community assets. Let's get rid of that shit. What kind of railing is this? By the time I've stopped figuring out what this actually is, I could have just actually made it, to be honest. Oh, yeah, I probably could have done. There's some variety though between these, and then we've got some gantry and rigging and stuff. Get rid of that. So let's go into the. Oh, it's gone. Okay, let's go into model, and then this will be in here somewhere. I always forget. Why am I being so dumb? Let's go back into Modo quickly, and then we'll just do. That should be that. There we go. Asset browser. Presets. Okay. Meshes. Let's just do stairways. Okay. Hardware. Nope. Mechanical. We've got some of those, so we're going to have to do some kit bashy stuff anyway, which will be cool. It'll be fun. Miscellaneous. I don't know where I put it, but I downloaded a bunch of the community assets because there's some amazing stuff in there. Skyscraper, we don't need that. Basic. Nope. Stairways. That's what I said. Exterior. Some signs. Don't need those. Interior general mechanical mesh fusion. Okay, fuck it. Don't make me make things. It's fine. I'm being a baby. It's fine. Let's look at this. What does this look like? So yeah, this is what I don't want to build. So actually, let's do 3D gantry. 3D model. Like, actually, let's do Modo community resources. It's not images, but going to here. They closed down the share site. Sean Free, I know this guy. He's a cool dude. Community resources. Are these gone? Okay. Modo share site boundary. Oh no, still here. Nice. So, mesh. I'm pretty sure I downloaded all these, but I can't remember where I put them. So, useful, I know. So we'll have a quick look. 3. Some of these are really fantastic, actually. Like for base models, some of them are great. And I want these sort of like some of these rig pieces, like these pieces of gantry work and stuff. I'm pretty sure there are some in here. There's a fence there, nice. We've got a what's that stuff like that? It's got rocket engine, cool. Shipping container, cool. I need to really like sort out my model library. When I can be bothered. Yeah, so we've got some cool stuff in here. A little spanner. Okay. Let's just keep looking. There'll be something. I'm pretty sure there is something around here somewhere. There's quite a lot of this stuff. Because this can actually waste a lot of time, this sort of thing. So if I can just... I don't know what that is, but that looks fun. What is that? Don't even know what it is, but it looks like a cool piece of something. Oh, okay, well we'll just keep that open. I'm pretty sure I downloaded basically all of this. I just don't know where I bloody put it. Yeah, that's cool as well. I don't know what that is, but that's cool. Little greebles. Yeah, like little kit bash things. They're like some of the most useful things you can get. You know, it's little greeblies, incredibly useful. Because like, yeah, look at all this. I don't even know what any half this shit is, but it's very cool. Yeah, a little tie down handle. Look at that. Cool. Yeah, I will have to have a look off stream and see if I can find any of these, because I would like to. Yeah, look at those. These are amazing. Look at these fantastic. And like, oh, there's like, you can see he's really like, oh, I want to get a model of an iPhone. I'm like, oh, look, a tie down handle. Because like the amount of times you need to put like, if you're building something from scratch and you need to have something interesting. Just keep on these cynical thoughts. Me like, oh, what are you doing with AI? It's like, AI can't do this. Don't be silly. Right. Wrench. Come on. There's a bridge. The bridge too far. Yeah, because I can just like, because yeah, if you've got stuff that's not in ooh, party hat, that's useful. Actually, should we just look inside C40 quickly, see what we've got? So let's just clear that out. So we'll see what models we get. Accessories, outdoor, antennas, fire escapes. That's cool. That's actually useful. That's something we can actually use. Cool. Infrastructure. What's that? Concrete curb. What's that? Is that telling me it's like the wait, I can't remember that. Does that icon mean that it's like you're not allowed, like it's in the pay? I can't remember. either way, I don't have the expensive. Radio tower. Sick. I think that means it's optimized for Redshift. I can't remember. Crane, sick. Okay, so scaffold. Hey, that's not exactly what I was after, but wall decor. This stuff's super useful. Yeah, these are sort of like some of those greeblies that you want to add. Don't know what any of this is, but we want to have some. We want some. Basically, we want some. Just litter it around so it looks like it's just like there. You know, like okay, this is fruitful. Antenna. Yeah, so we want some of those dishes. We want some of this. We want some of this. Because yeah, once we've done with this basic thing, we'll just litter a bunch of this shit around. We'll add some sort of cagey parts, and we'll just play. We'll just figure out. This is going to be fun, provided I can find all the bits that I want. Oh, look, there's an AC as well. Lovely. That's very good. Cool. I'm pleased about that. Excellent. So, all right. So we've got the outer part of there in. We need to have some sort of handrail. So we need to grab. Let's just kit up the internet again quickly. Let's just do Cinema 4D kit bash parts, bolts and screws. Shocked at how useful bolts and screws actually are. Kit bash 3D, nice. View. Kit bash 3D is actually really good. They were kind of beggy. If you've not used Octane before, Octane is incredible value. As soon as I've got, look at this, $95. That's not bad. What have we got? Models included: Apple box cart, toilet, big soft box, boom mic, box truss, scaffold. That's what I want. Some really good shit in there actually. Some power boxes and stuff. Yeah. So things like when you go to Octane, Otoy give away loads of. They've got loads of integrations and loads of like extra software you get plus